Today on the Dad's Making a Difference podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome Brian Seim, founder of Kingdom Family Leader, and a man who truly understands the journey from success to significance. Brian's story is one of profound transformation. After 13 years as a successful alpine ski racing coach with the U.S. ski team, his life took a dramatic turn that ultimately led him to discover the life-changing power of authentic brotherhood and connection. Brian is a certified NLP practitioner, genius, unlocked coach, and mastermind expert who has helped Christian husbands, fathers, and business leaders break free from what he calls successful misery, that paradoxical state where the outward achievement fails to deliver inward fulfillment. Today, we'll explore how mastermind groups can help men become connected, overcome isolation, find greater purpose, and create lasting impact in their families, businesses, and communities. My conversation with Brian on the DMD podcast starts right now. Brian, welcome to the Dad's Making a Difference podcast. Good to see you today.
Good to see you, Cam. It's been ages since we've been in person, but this is awesome.
It has been a while. You and I had the opportunity to be in a mastermind group together for a couple of years, and it's been a while since I've been in person there. And yeah, it's great to see you, even though it is virtual. You're looking as handsome as always.
I am, and we're both the same height again.
Yeah, isn't that hilarious? Like, one of the things that I always get a kick out of is that when I've met people in this type of format, whether it's an interview or Zoom or online, and then it's like that first live meetup and you get to meet everybody in person, and it's just like, oh, you're different than I imagined. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that 10 years ago, we were in mastermind, or I was in mastermind, and it was like meeting week after week like this. And then we come together for a retreat and you're like, you're not 5'10". You're not 5'10".
Yeah.
All these different nuances. Face to face and in person online is not the same. And that's the shock. It's funny. It's such a meaningless thing, but it was the shocker of the first few retreats.
Always. And people were just like, man, you're way taller than I thought you were. Well, I told you how tall I was, but you just didn't picture it. Yeah, so it's good. But man, I'm excited to do this episode with you, have a conversation with you about the work that you're diving into. I mentioned the word mastermind, and we'll dive into that in a little bit, but this idea of masterminding together, of getting guys together. So before we dive into that, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, tell the guys who are listening a little bit about who you are, what, lights a fire, what keeps you going?
Cool. Well, I'm a dad. Well, oops, I'm supposed to say husband first. No, I'm supposed to say Christian first. But dad seems to take the most time these days. Christian, husband, father. I've been a software engineer. I've been a school teacher. I've been an alpine ski racing coach. This last year, I've really been focusing on being with the kids while creating the Kingdom Family Leader movement, and just enjoying a little bit of space and freedom and time together with them and with my wife and family.
Amazing. How old are your kids?
I got a fast forward program. I've been married 13 years, but we've got kids 9, 11, and it's birthday month, so it gets really confusing. 18, 20 for a couple more days, and 25.
Wow. 5? 5. My wife and I had 2, and we're like, that's it. We're playing man-to-man defense right now. Anymore, we're going zone defense, and we know zone isn't effective. So we're going, coming from basketball background. But 5 kids, amazing. And that's quite the spread. 25 is the oldest, 9 is the youngest.
Yeah. I think zone defense is awesome. We were at Cub Scouts with the 25-year-old. Or actually it was Boy Scouts or something. We were at this picnic and we had the 2 babies running around. And my wife, she's been through this. She raised the first 3 most of the way through. And the younger 2 girls were taking care of the other 2. And I'm like, how did you do this? Because she spent a season there, 5 years separated and struggling with that. And just, I'm like, I'm glad we have these junior assistants to help us with the zone defense on the playground.
So dad life is keeping you busy. Tell us a little bit about your background, because most of the time I'll have a guy on here and he'll be talking about how he impacts men. I'm always curious, like, what was life like for you growing up? Your relationship with your own father, how you came into fatherhood and how you felt with that. Give us an overview of that.
Yeah, that's the first. I love it. That's the first podcast where they've gotten into my dad. I like that. So I was raised perfect. I lived perfect for 35 years. My parents were great and perfect, and all these delusions broke down at age 35.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
growing up, my parents were there. They were supportive. They were married. As I got into high school, I recognized how blessed I was that they stayed married, and they're still married today. And all those years, because so many of my peers didn't have a dad or didn't have a mom, or they had this divorce thing that I didn't understand. So they were present. Dad worked a lot. He worked hard. Sometimes he was just absent through that. And I think that weighed on me a little bit. We moved around a couple times, and I struggled with that growing up. I lost soccer in fifth grade. Soccer was my big thing, and we moved to a town that plays baseball and hockey in Minnesota, and not much soccer. So, and then went to college, pursued teaching, did that for years, and my dad, well, like I said, 35 years, the truth came out. I was struggling with sexual addiction. Part of the reason I wasn't well connected with my dad was some of the abuse that happened to me growing up, and then how I rolled that into not being the best man as an adult, and trying to be perfect, pretending I'm perfect, and struggling with sexual addiction, and trying to get through and get over and get beyond that through life. And after that, I realized I wasn't perfect. I didn't lead the perfect life. If I prayed at that point, if I just got rid of this addiction, I would be the perfect coach. And the Lord answered my prayers and set me on a path of recovery. And I don't coach ski racing anymore, but I came back to a relationship with God, and just excited to be married and have kids after all that journey, and be married to my college sweetheart. When we came back together after 17 years, she was like, and I told her my whole story, because I'm like, once it's out, it's the secrets that kept me contained for 35 years. It's like, nobody can accept the whole me. And she heard the secrets, and she's like, oh, that explains it. I'm like, what do you mean that explains it? I knew something was going on with you in college when we were dating, but I couldn't explain it, and you wouldn't let anybody in. And now I know. So that's the long version of the short story.
Yeah, no, man, there's so much you could unpack there, but I think it's amazing. Thank you for sharing. But I think it's amazing that you've gotten to a point right now where, a lot of people would go through different things in their life, whether it be trauma or disappointment or change, and would never use that in a constructive way where they could be like, you know what? I think I'm called to help others because of this. It's like they would disqualify themselves. Like, so many people self-disqualify from helping others because of their own background, and they don't realize that their background actually is the reason why they can help others.
Yeah. Our mess is our message, as Dean Graziosi likes to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. You get back together, high school sweetheart college sweetheart after 17 years, and you start a family together. And you mentioned your dad briefly, some of the relationship stuff there. He was absent. I think I also come from a generation where my dad he worked a lot and he wasn't there all the time. I know that he cared about our family, but for you, raising a family now, having had your background and what happened to you in your life and these different pieces, Were you scared to become a dad?
I was, and that was part of that disclosure of just my whole background and my whole history with Leah and talking about the secrets. I think, well, you and I heard our mentor says isolation is the enemy.
Right.
And it is. And that's a starting point, because a lot of people I resonate with that. I went into church the other day and this guy's like, your YouTube just totally resonated with me. Isolation is the enemy. That's it. And I'm like, great. But for me, it's that step behind that. Why am I isolating? Why am I separating? Why am I apparently awesome, but secretly alone? I was a leading coach in my industry, in my business. I was front stage. I was highly recruited. I was great, but I wasn't. I was alone. And that secret struggle, that secret sin that men walk with, if they don't have the healthy place to let it out, puts up those barriers and creates that isolation, is the enemy. And I lost my train of thought on your whole question. But
no, it's about becoming a dad and going through it, and like if you were worried. So
I went through therapy and I went through recovery, and I said, hey, I've got a group of men. And after therapy, we met in mastermind, and our mentor there said, well, therapy and that is looking back.
Yeah.
And mastermind and coaching is looking forward.
Right.
And that was like the turning point for me, really, as we were dating and looking at getting married with 3 kids and a sex addict in the house. And what does that look like? And I had been coaching kids for years, so I had lots of experience. And the best part was you could send them home at night.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do all the parenting pieces. So it was scary. I'm like, well, if I don't send them home, I have to do this. We have to do this.
Yeah. It doesn't stop. Yeah. So, becoming a dad is a big thing, and we all learn through it different ways. But what is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself since becoming a father?
That it's all really simple. Fatherhood. Actually, about myself, I guess I'm not as patient as I thought I was. I think I'm pretty calm, cool, and collected. And I love just the 9-year-old. Some nights he'll just sit and he'll ask questions just to put himself to sleep. And he'll fall asleep in the middle of a question. And some of the times it's like, I notice how foolishly I'm getting elevated. It's like, well, we already talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
But not in the context he's building. And so just that patience thing, and that just love and passion for the kid and where they're going, and looking beyond today at where they can go and how I can contribute to that, and the areas that I can't, and finding ways where I can get support and get help and get encouragement and programs and school and education and experiences to fill in the gaps, because I don't know everything. That's part of the first 35 years. I knew everything.
Yeah.
And you knew everything. And everything I thought is the same way you thought. So all kinds of delusional blockers in my head that I've been breaking through for life.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned isolation. And yeah, we have a mentor. I've referred to him. He's been on the podcast before, Aaron Walker, Big A. Yeah. And he says isolation is the enemy of excellence. And we mentioned that we were in a mastermind together, and that's where, and it was Aaron's mastermind. And this idea of the mastermind, a lot of people listening to this right now, I don't even know what this means. I don't even know what this word means. In your context, in your understanding, what is a mastermind?
It's totally misused in the context that we're talking about. Any class could be called a mastermind, or all kinds of things. Big, huge groups are called that. For me, a mastermind is a group of highly motivated individuals who meet together on a regular basis to support, encourage, and challenge one another. In the Kingdom Family Leader, that's 8 men who meet every week for an hour to support, challenge, question, test one another. It's a board of directors for life. There's no set curriculum. Kingdom Family Leader has a kind of a path or a pattern or a way to become better Kingdom Family leaders, husbands, fathers, and business leaders, whether by title or just by action.
I love it. There's a lot of program. So people will confuse, I find often, a coaching program with what you just described as a mastermind.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people come into, and I've run like little mini mastermind events and things like that in my different communities, but often it will easily come to a point where they're like, well, what are you going to teach us? and maybe describe the difference between what a coaching program versus a community of highly motivated men getting together to hold each other accountable on task.
Yeah. So group coaching is kind of what you're describing is very common. Yeah. And it's useful and it's helpful and it works really well. Do I coach in a mastermind? Yes. Am I called the coach? No. I'm not even called the leader, even though that might be the term I'm going to, because I don't facilitate. Facilitator is the word I've been using the most lately. But after a group matures, each person takes a turn facilitating the group. And really, it's like you and me coming together with 6 other friends with an agenda. We're not doing the copy room chat or the water cooler chat and talking about one-upping the other guy and how big my fish was. That may come across in the meeting, but it's really about who are you really? What do you need? And what do you have? Because it's really about all of us coaching each other, pouring into each other, sharing our experiences, sharing our networks of people. Like if I got a fat dad like me that really is fired up about their fitness, I would probably call Cam and say, hey, you guys should meet. And that's part of what we would do in Mastermind. I'm doing really good actually. So it's that peer relationship and being able to come in and be a giver and sharing your expertise. But also the critical part of it, Cam, is telling me when I'm screwing up or when I might be headed in the wrong direction with something in a way that it's constructive and that I'm not like defensive about it, and that we can come to an answer that's bigger than I could come to by myself in the group. And that's true for every member of the group. It's like, hey, we share our finances, we share our vision, we share our business, we share our wife's name, our wife's interests, our kids, and we try to get the clear, full picture so that we can get clear and full guidance.
Yeah. There's a depth of trust that comes from a community like that, a group like that. I've been part of different, over the last decade, different quote unquote masterminds. Some have been coaching programs where there's a coach and you show up and everybody's in a big group and they coach you through what you need to do. And one person is the go-to. They might be called the facilitator, the lead, the coach, the co-coach, whatever it is. But until actually experiencing the true meaning of a mastermind in a small group, 8 to 10 guys, where you're having unfiltered conversations like you're referring to, and you build that level of trust and you get to see each other in person, online, whatever, on a consistent basis, these people become your friends. And there's such a powerful piece of connecting with a guy without any existing filter, and where you can just come up, be yourself, say, this is who I am. And I love what you said. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm called to do, excited to do, but here's what I'm struggling with. And this is what I need help with. And I felt through those conversations in the mastermind that when guys were open to, this is what I need help in, as opposed to tell me what to do, there's a shift there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
self-ownership.
Mm-hmm. So in a mastermind, what is the most valuable piece? We're combating isolation, right? And then you just mentioned self-ownership is part of it. Coming as a giver, not a taker. You mentioned that in the description of what it is and what it isn't. What outside of those things, for any man who wants to join a mastermind, join your group or another program or mastermind group, what's the most important thing that he should realize or understand before doing so? Something about himself.
Yeah, I think it's just that everybody's got something. Everybody's got something good. Everybody's got something bad. Everybody's doing the best they can at the moment. And if you are a man that's out there and isolated, you don't need to join our masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
But you do need to look at, if you're that isolated, why? What's the unconscious reason below that as to why you're doing it? Some guys, if they had a story like mine, probably aren't ready to step into a group of 8 people and start talking about their story.
Right.
And that's where the one-on-one coaching comes in. And for you, maybe that's one-on-one coaching. For you, maybe that's connecting with a trusted man at church, in your community, in your neighborhood. And maybe they're not trusted yet. Maybe they're a stranger. I've got a few core beliefs, and the second one is we're better together. And by connecting with somebody as a coffee chat, as a copy room chat, and repeating that on occasion, and taking it, if they're the right guy, taking that to the next level and saying, do you want to drop the fishing competition and the low quality conversations that's a horrible way to say it. I need to work on that. Do you want to go to the next level in intimacy? That's the wrong word too. Guys don't use that word unless they've been in mastermind and coaching for years. Yeah. Do you want to be real?
Yeah.
And talk about life? Because I know I've got a struggle and I think you can speak into my life. That one-on-one is a great place to start letting out that sin or struggle. And it doesn't have to be huge problem, but if it's slowing you down, talk about it with another man, talk about it with a group, join a mastermind, kind of build up your power and influence by letting people have power and influence over your life.
Over the last, I'd say 5 years especially, I've been able to learn so much from the guys I've been in masterminds with and connected with. And there's a theme though. I look at all these guys, I'm like, they're really high achieving dudes. Like these are really high achieving guys. And they keep saying that it was the hardest thing for them to join this group. And now that they're in it, they don't ever want to leave it. But it was the hardest thing for them to join this group. And I'll ask a question, I'll be like, yeah, but you've been in this group for 3 years. Like, well, yeah. But you've been a high achieving guy for a decade. So what is it? Why do you think it's such a hard thing for high achieving men to open themselves up to joining something like a mastermind group?
Yeah, I think it's that external expectation, that paradigm of I'm a strong, and I was talking to some foreign people, but I'm going to say strong American man. I can do it on my own. And I've done this. I'm so successful. And that's kind of one of our marketing pieces is I know I'm successful. I don't feel successful. I've got the money. I've got the family. Sure, maybe I'm not around much at home, or maybe I'm messing up in little places and areas in life, but I know I'm successful and I should feel more successful about it. And just that vulnerability, that admitting that I'm not perfect is a big part of mastermind. And that's where the power of it comes in. Because until we know where we are, we're stuck.
Yeah. I know my own journey, it's been really difficult. I like that you said you need to know where you are, because in reflection, my own journey, I'm just like, lots of times I get really stuck, but I don't want to reach out for help because I'm like, I should be able to figure this out. I should be able to get the answer. I should be able to
do it all by myself.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I've done it before. And then you sit and you're honest with yourself. And you're like, no, I haven't done it before, because last time when I was in this spot and it actually took this person to get me over the bump, or it took this insight or this book, but it wasn't really you. And it's so easy for guys who feel that they're high performing, they want to be successful, or they are successful, to just like be isolated, so isolated.
We don't want to break our performance mask.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was so dramatic at 35 years old when I faced my demons. It was like, wow, I don't even know who I am.
Yeah. Because
I've been just this mask and building and constructing this thing to lay over me. Maybe this is who I am. And that's really an intense version of it, but that's what it is. We're high performing. We've done a lot. We'll avoid the things we can't do. And we'll do the things we can do, and we'll do them to extremes, and that leaves gaps. It might be at home with the kids, with the wife, with the relationships in the community. It might be impact.
Yeah. I think about just this part of my life. I'm in my mid-40s, and I'm going through this stage right now.
Don't you mean 30s? Look at you.
Yeah, I wish. Maybe I don't wish. I'm kind of glad where I'm at. And I'm like, okay, 45, I should have achieved this and this and this and this by now, but I haven't. However, I look at all these other things, and you have this internal dialogue. And I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I kind of don't care what other people think. For a long time, it was like, I'm this person. This is my thing. I'm Cam the educator. I'm Cam the high school vice principal. I'm Cam from Fight the Dad Blog. I'm Cam from Dad's Making a Difference. And it was like, I felt like I had to be 4 different people.
Right.
And I think even over the last year and a half, 2 years, being connected in mastermind groups has been like, no, just be you. Who cares about the messaging of these 4 different things? They aren't who you are. You are who you are. These are just, you can do these 4 things because of who you are. And it actually, I would have never gotten to that point or been going through this if it wasn't for a group of men that I trusted deeply, who could speak into my life and challenge me on stuff. If I was still behind this desk in this old baby nursery room in our house, I would be in isolation. I'd be still struggling with, which one of these do I choose? Instead of choosing who God meant me to be. And that's just being myself. And it took a group of men to bring that out of me. And I think there's a lot of guys who are scared to be that vulnerable.
Yeah. Where 2 or more are gathered in his name. And I think in his name can be on the side. It doesn't have to be a Christian man. It's that spiritual connection of, this is the real me. To throw out a Tony Robbins cliche, you started this last bit with should. I should be this, should be there, I should there. And Tony says, quit shoulding on yourself.
Yeah.
Since I don't swear, I kind of enjoy that one. That was kind of flavorful.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's those voices, Cameron, that kill us. And it's really identifying some of those voices in my coaching really helps people. We've got our inner critic, which is a lot of those shoulds, our inner ego, which is defending what we're doing, and our inner child is what our parents created for us and our environment and our upbringing, and then our intuition. And that's where you've gotten, and I've gotten through these years of personal development, is finding that intuition voice through the guidance of men and mentors in our lives to be able to shut down that critic, ego, and child voices that are sabotaging us, slowing us down, stopping us in our tracks. And when we can do that, and when we don't know, we have men around us, we can say, which voice is this? Is this my intuition? Or am I ego blasting something here that I want to protect, some identity that I wanted to set aside already? And we get that truth from people who really know us. And I think that's the same thing, is people who really know us is kind of scary.
It is. Yeah, it is. It takes time, right? It's just, we're so used to having these quick conversations with people that when somebody actually knows you and actually cares about you and challenges you on something, you're like, how dare you? How dare you put me on the spot? But you walk away from it like, wow, like they know a lot about me. And it feels weird at first. I'm just speaking from experience. It feels weird at first coming out of a conversation in a mastermind group where people have challenged you on stuff that is pretty deep stuff. And you're like, oh, they know so much about me. Maybe they shouldn't know that. And you're like, no, I'm so glad that they know about me and that they have listened to me and care enough about me to challenge me on these things. Right. Brian, I got a question for you. In a mastermind, or in your mastermind, for instance, there's guys listening to us right now like, okay, I get it. I get the importance of this. I can start to see the benefits. What does that conversation look like? What does that relationship building look like? What does the trust building look like in your group?
Really, we come in hopefully all starting at the same time, which is nice, but it's not always that way. Like you and I both said, we aren't in that mastermind anymore. So there are people coming and going, and it really takes 3 to 6 months to get there and build up that trust level. But really, if it's not a brand new group all starting together, it's that the example of the guys who've been there longer, the observation and being okay with that, and seeing the vulnerability, seeing the exchanges, seeing the safety. What's shared in mastermind stays in mastermind. And being able to see wins, feel wins, and be wins. I was in a group where on the income scale, I was at the bottom of my group, and I was an equal. And so seeing that equality in the group just empowered me and raised me up. And over those years, we've doubled our income twice. And that's been, I didn't see that coming out of my addictions and my past life into this new life happening. So just really knowing that, like you said a minute ago, I don't know that I want the guys to know that. And that's okay for that season.
Yeah.
But growing into that. And like I said earlier, if your struggles aren't ready for display, they got to get ready and start with one person. Work with Cam, work with Brian, work with your pastor, work with a counselor because I remember entering recovery, I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I'm the only one with problems.
Yeah.
All those false lies that we're told and rattle in our head from those three voices.
Yeah.
So it's really about taking small, safe steps that don't feel good. Actually, my YouTube today was about change is uncomfortable. And we want to be, the story I shared today was, as I taught adults how to ski, they don't like to be uncomfortable, but they sign up for a ski lesson to get better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you know it's uncomfortable to change? And once they connected those dots, I'm like, are you willing to be uncomfortable today? Because you came in skiing like this and you want to ski like that.
Yeah.
And just being able to take a step of discomfort. And you might get burned. You might stumble. You might share with the wrong person. But if you start with an authority, whether that's a pastor, a coach, a mastermind facilitator, a men's group leader at church, whatever, your chances of success are really high. And then you can get deeper and deeper and deeper and free.
And that's a big thing. Is that I think we're all searching for is that that freedom piece, freedom to be who we are, who we're called to be. Yeah. Brian, I got a question for you. If, as a dad right now, husband right now, what's an area that you're digging into, an area of growth or learning that you're excited about right now?
I'm just enjoying the kids.
Yeah.
They're so phenomenal. I quit drinking again. Our 9-year-old was 8 not too long ago, and we were talking about alcohol. And he looks right at me and he goes, well, why would anybody drink that at all?
Yeah.
So I quit again. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. I don't have an answer for you, so I stopped. And I think the other area is just, it's so simple and easy to parent these days. My daughter, we used to be better at doing an adventure every weekend, outdoor adventure, hiking in the stream and getting wet and doing all this stuff. And they made the comment that, hey, what's our adventure this weekend? Yeah, we got weathered out, and we usually go in the rain too and stuff, but we got weathered out here and there. It was 30 below up in Minnesota. And just less than 2 months ago, I was like, let's get a big snack and a backpack and get in a car and drive 20 miles up to the waterfalls and hike around the waterfalls. That's the first hike we did when we moved back to Minnesota in 2019. And Spencer looks at me and goes, can we just go out there and kill zombies? I'm like, that's so simple.
Yeah.
That's so, I'm going to say easy, but I struggle going out and killing zombies, but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
But it's so simple and so easy to do when we just are present and have the relationships with them. And then the behavior stuff and everything kind of falls in line with all that valuing and honoring and respecting of them. I even asked the kids at lunch today, I'm like, all right, I'm talking to dads of the world. What do I tell them? And Spencer says, their kids should eat blueberries.
Yeah.
He is on a soccer kick to be a rock star soccer player. And one of the coaches he listened to said good stuff about blueberries.
And that's it.
I was looking for something that I did good or even something I did horrible in parenting and looking for that secret edge that, oh, I can tell other dads about it and I can hear it and learn it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was it.
Blueberries.
Yeah. Gotta eat blueberries. Gotta eat more blueberries.
Oh, thanks for sharing. Brian, if a guy's listening to this right now and he wants to learn more about you and what you're doing and the work that you're doing, where can he find you? Where can he connect with you?
The best place to start is at KFL for Kingdom Family Leader .vision/assessment. KFL.vision/assessment. There's about 30 questions there to score yourself as a Kingdom Family Leader and get some feedback at the end of it that you can take and run. It gives you ideas. Like when I mark a low score on one, I'm like, oh, maybe I should be doing more of that. And then when I mark a high score, I know where I'm at. That gets you on our email list. It gets you invites to have a chat with me one-on-one. We have a weekly roundtable you'll get invites to where it's just a mini mastermind for 30 minutes. Right now it's 3 or 4 guys, and it's small, and it's growing and getting bigger, but it's just that open, free Kingdom Family Leader. Let's get together, share our struggle, share our victory, and love on each other in a community, in a group.
Love it. Brian, thank you so much for doing this today. Thanks for taking time away from your family to spend with us. Can't wait to hear more about your group and your family adventures killing zombies.
Killing zombies.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cameron. Keep up the good work. Get the dad bods and the dad minds all in line, and we're going to have a better world together.
Appreciate it.